Look at that, already so much younger. Hey kids, Mama's back and she's getting ready to go to an event. These products have been out for a while, but I've been really busy and not able to make a video on them. One thing that you all don't know about me, I have a little group of brands that when I'm in a rush or I need something that I know is gonna work that I run to. When it comes to eyeshadows, I have two brands that I will fall back on. The one that I run to the most is Natasha Denona. Her products, look, I get it, they're stupid expensive, but they're worth it. Like any high-end makeup artist-based brand, I find if you are a simpleton, a normie, a commoner, a townsperson, a peasant, they might take a bit of getting used to. Makeup artists, we do things in a different way a lot of the time, but this is what I'm here for, to help you out. I'm not gonna do swatches. If you wanna see swatches, go on the website. Some people always say that it look the same. It's because a swatch is a concentrated multi-layer version of that color. It's never gonna look the same on the eye unless you liberally apply layer upon layer, like on the lid. And you can do an 80s garage door, girl. I'm always here for the 80s. This is the palette. So I'm going to an event today called I Remember House. It's during the day and it's 35 degrees. So I'm going just for a bit of a glowy and a natural lashy. She wants to be lashy today. And then I picked up the blush and highlight trio. I don't normally blush, but I'm gonna go for a bit of a sun-kissed look. And that's so good. I'm so pretty. This has a cream blush, a cream highlighter, and then a powder highlighter go on top, which is why I've come in just after doing my base, my concealer, keeping it very sheer. I'm going to sweat. I don't want to have to touch up my face. Mama cleaned her brushes the other night. I was on the phone to my friend Renata. Hello, Renata. And we were both cleaning on the phone together as friends do. But did go a little bit overboard with the bronzer. It looks okay on here, but in person, oof. This is why I'm going to go into this blush formula. I personally don't like blush. I think blush, it's a deeper color, so it makes you recess as opposed to project. So when I do use blush on myself or anyone else, I actually keep it as a midpoint between your bronzer and your lightest shade or your highlight. I've not used this before, but it's coming off onto the brush. Ooh. As I said, it's really hot today. I'm going for a bit of a, she's a bit natural, she's a bit sun-kissed. Bring it into the temple, maybe bring it onto the forehead, where the places where the sun's gonna hit. And I'm gonna go through with any cream product and tap it out with my finger to really merge the colors together. We want to blend, we want to, I was about to say immigrate, assimilate the colors together. Ooh, pretty cute actually. In person, it's much nicer. I need to start filming on my camera and not on my phone. The setup I have is just so much easier on a phone. A phone is skinny. Skinny. And yes, I will fat shame my camera, the chunky bitch. This is a problem. I may become a blush person, and I loved that I wasn't. Not gonna lie, I see people wearing blush, I'm like, ugh, simpleton. Oh, I love it. Although it has made my face from the front look wider because I have brought that depth into a bigger scale. So proportionally, beside the lighter area, it's taking up more space, so it's gonna then push the face out wider, as opposed to creating a slither of a little shadow. This, as I said, has a cream. Apparently you can go over powders and bases with this cream, and it's gonna be fine, so let's see, because I'm not redoing my base. I will just arrive looking like shit. Ooh. I don't want to press too hard. We don't want to pick up that base. Anything with an emollient is going to eat through a foundation. But if we go in lightly, we can start layering on top and hopefully not disturb the underneath. The key is to be gentle. It actually does emphasize texture. My favorite highlighter does not. This, it's beautiful, it's very smooth, it's not chunky. Like, I don't like a glitter highlight. Again, she's pushing 40, and I just think that something glowy is just a lot more elegant. I want to look like the best version of me. I don't want to look like My Little Pony douched on my face. I would like to blend it in a bit more. It'll do. By the time I get to this event, because it started hours ago, everyone's gonna be drunk or doing so now I'm gonna go in with the powder, and I'm just going to hit the apple of my cheek, more of the side, like go a quarter in there. Remember, highlighter is the gift for those around you, it's not for you. If you can see it, you've put on far too much and you look like trash.
I said it, cancel me, do it.
Go in with my clean highlighter brush. Ooh, she glowy. That's gonna help mask the edges of the cream highlight. Wow, this is definitely getting the job done. Down the nose. Ooh, you can see there. There's no cast, which is nice. You can see a bit of my pigmentation, look at that. She's multicolored. I think once I set it, it's gonna look really beautiful. I'll be back. I'm gonna put on my eyeshadow primer, which is the Emma Mitchell P. Louise Blank Canvas. It's a limited edition, I don't know why, because it's the best looking primer on the face of the earth. I'm back. I've used my Mecha Zoom Stick in Rust as a primer. It will lock down any powder I put on top of it. Now going into my Dream palette, add a bit of Unity, gonna add a bit of Familiar, and a bit of Aspiration for depth. I'm not using any of the colors today, but a bit of hydrogen interjection.
Detecting rant in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A lot of people complain about Natasha Denona's cream to powder formulations. They say that they're not pigmented enough. They are sheer formulations. You know what you're getting when you buy Natasha Denona. They're workable, friendly products. They're there to add a transition, a light wash. If you want to add depth, go in with a pigment, not with a cream. It's just common sense. We have to work within the parameters of technology. This is what these products do, and they work beautifully. So, shh, zip it, done. Done! I'm done. Because I've cleaned my brushes, I can't tell which brush is which from the top anymore. I'm gonna go in with this, I'm gonna fast forward it, and I'll be right back. Don't complain about her pigment, people. Do not. A lot more orange than I wanted to go, but oh well. It blended itself out. This is what I love about Natasha Denona. Minimal effort for high quality results. I'm not gonna sit here and do a whole review like, oh my god, is this good, is this bad? I buy Natasha Denona because I know it's always going to work. It works for me, I can wear it. I do sometimes get eye irritation on the inner corners with her brand. I do have a bit of a sensitive eye. I'm allergic to synthetic red, which is in a lot of palettes now because they're going vegan. So I often will jump into a pigment that I know I can wear. I know what I'm getting with this, and it's looking great. Because I'm doing a top and bottom lash, we want to keep it quite smoked out all the way around. We want it all very soft and diffused. That really is my thing. I like a diffused eye. It looks flattering and it highlights you. I'm all about bringing out the shape of my eye. Even the false eyelashes I'm wearing, it's not about the lashes, it's about bringing out the shape of my eye. I have Middle Eastern shaped eyes, and I love that about my face.
Thanks, Daddy.
When I smoked out the outer corner, I actually went a bit further than I wanted to go because it's a matte. When I blend it, it will actually buff away the pigment. I could keep it that deep, I just don't want to. There's like this whole thing with like a nude lower lash line and no lashes on the bottom. Okay, ugly. I know times are tough, but let's put eyeshadow everywhere. And then I'm just gonna swing it with my eye closed to connect the outer portion of the eye. A fluffy packer brush, which I like to add pigment but with a diffused edge, because if you look at it, it's like a dome. The concentration is gonna go on the highest point, and then the lower parts that have just grays the color, just grays your skin, are gonna diffuse it for you. Ooh, I mean, I won't, but I could go like this. Using a grippier primer is really going to bring out that pigment as well. It takes a bit of getting used to, and that's what I find that I hate about a lot of people online, is they don't blend enough when using a grippier primer. But just go at it, and if you need to, add that lighter or midway shade, and that will help diffuse those edges for you. This palette is one of those gimmicky ones. It has Vision, which is a multi-chrome. It's probably the most famous multi-chrome. It's that red to green to gold. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a bit more muted. It's a bit more sheer if you want it to be. Like, some of them go quite black and sooty because they have a black base in order to make them look multi-chromatic. This really is a palette for someone who is a neutral kind of girl, but wants to sometimes play with that kind of edgy pop, but it's not too in your face. This palette would actually go really well with her retro palette, because the retro palette is very berry based, and this has a lot of the berries with like edgy and instinct. So just with the pink throw, the pink peachy throw of everything, it would be a nice kind of day to night buddy up system mariage. I'm just going to put on my glitter primer and put colors on, and I'm going to tell you after it's done. Enjoy the fast forward. Also, remember to keep the glitter primer quite sheer. You want it to be a tacky base to adhere to. If it's too thick, you're going to create a paste on your eyelid. It'll move, it'll take a lot longer to set. I'm back. Just went in with Invention, and then I went in with Thrill on the inner corner, and then I topped the inner corner with, because I had a bit of the Natasha Denona leaky inner eye like I told you about, just with the highlighter, the powder one, just to highlight the brow bone, and the inner corner added my lashes. Part of this collection is a liner. They say it's just her original I Need a Nude Natasha liner. I have that. I'm not going to put it on in the video because I'm wearing my Give by Gwen Stefani Overline Lip with my Sweet Tooth gloss today, and I still need to brush my teeth. Apparently it's the same liner. I've seen it set online, and so I went to test it. It's not the same color. It's actually a bit warmer. With that being said, on the lip, because I have a darker difference between my skin and my lips, some people are a lot more same across the board. For me, it just throws the same. I didn't bother buying it. I'll show you. It's that nude kind of shade. Even though it looks quite dark, on me it's actually lighter than my lip color. And that's not the look I'm going for, so I'm going for bronzy. Not this was meant to be a review, but I freaking love this palette. There's also a lippy I forgot about. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to get a lot of use out of it. It's just very easy, very neutral. It's a lot more orange than it looked online. That's not a bad thing. I actually quite like it. It's got a beautiful micro shimmer, micro glitter. I've actually got to send off a self-test now. So wish me luck, and I'll see. I'll attach some footage if I remember from the event here. See you later, kitties. Toilet lighter, just for you, girl. Just for you.